Welcome to our team. I'm glad you're part of us. I'm also seeing that Larry and Lisa Westreich are also with us from New Jersey. And Bob is also with his better part with Pamela. They're in Westchester. And Michael Morrison is from the City Island in the Bronx. So, keep the chat alive. I think people would appreciate getting to know where everyone is from. Cindy is with us from Manhattan. Rabbi Emily Siegel is from Phoenix, Arizona. Wonderful. Keep the chat alive. We're going to start our program, and I want to start by definitely greeting everyone and expressing gratitude for joining us. I see that our friend also Gordon Berlin has joined, so welcome, Gordon. Glad you're with us. We're going to have this program some kind of an update of the school year and what we've done. 30th of June basically is the end of the school year in Israel. And this is usually the end of the programming period for us. We work our work schedule is based on school year, so it's 1st of September until the end of June. We take July and August as 2 months in which we do evaluation, in which we do program planning, in which we do training of staff, training of facilitators, marketing, all kinds of other duties, but also we encourage people to take vacation during these 2 months. And what we thought we should do with you today is we're inviting three of the leaders of the three major centers at Givat Haviva, the Shared Art Center, and the Jewish Arab Center for Peace, and our international school, United. I've asked each one of them to give us an update of what they did in the last year, so you get a feel that of what we've done over the last 10 months, but also give us some kind of what to expect will be their work plan coming September. So that's really what we wanted to do, basically, because most of you are active friends and people that know the work of Givat Haviva. We're not going to give you a lecture about the Iran US deal. That's I think it's a bit too early to do that, or its impact on Jewish-Arab relations on Israel. We're not going to talk. We also thought about talking about the cross-border Israeli-Palestinian conflict and bringing maybe a specialist. We'll postpone this to maybe later, but the angle will always be the impact of these kind of files on Jewish-Arab relations in Israel, and that's the main theme which Givat Haviva works on and focuses on, and we try to not divert. So if we deal with any cross-border issues, it's not because now we're looking at a new target area in which we want to work in, but mainly to see how the ecosystem in which we operate affects Jewish-Arab relations. Let me just remind you, the last three polls that we conducted that were associated with our conferences, we always measured the level of mutual trust and mutual fear between Jewish and Arab citizens in Israel. And we see that the impact of the cross-border Israeli-Palestinian conflict usually affects that arena very much. It affects the level of mistrust. It affects the level of mutual fear dramatically. It's nothing about what happens inside Israel between Jews and Arabs, not between Jewish Arab politicians in the Knesset, and not between Jewish and Arab doctors in hospitals, and not between truck drivers or taxi drivers. The impact that sharpens and heats the relationship is usually coming from cross-border issues. So it happened in the last 3 years. It happened after May 21 clashes. It happened after October 2000 clashes between the police and Arab citizens. And that always brings in a very severe impact on polarization between Jewish and Arab citizens. Now, what we've always learned from the last cycles of violence is that after things calm down, and I think that, after the signing of the agreement a few hours ago, after things calm down, usually our target audience, which is schools in Israel, try to understand what to do next. So they're left with very hard feelings. They're left with very severe polarization and heated emotions between their students, their teachers, the principals, the families. And they ask the question, what should we do about it? And that means that they usually come to us and they knock on our doors. They say, okay, now you're the specialists, so you figure it out. You tell us what needs to be done. So we experience a surge in demand, and we expect this surge in demand to actually come somewhere towards September, October. That's when we expect a lot of schools. After May 21, the demand for our educational programming in schools tripled. Tripled, not 20% increase, it was 300% increase. So we have to keep watching what's going on. We have to see how this affects what we do and how we do it. You'll hear it also from Barak, Ola, and Yuval, because it also affects on the methodology that we use in the kind of training that we give to the facilitators and to the staff. I've said it before, we're in a reality that we operate in what we call a moving target. Our target, although we know what we do, we are about peace and shared society education. But the target keeps changing, not as the goal, but our clientele, the people that we're trying to affect in our education programs, they keep changing perspectives. They keep mostly hardening perspectives because they are affected severely by the political security ecosystem that we live in. So, what we're going to do this afternoon, I'm going to share with you a couple of slides. Not that much because it's about us talking with each other and not about giving you lectures. So this is the agenda for the next hour and a half. So I did my part, basically welcoming you, not just on my name, but also on the name of all of the staff, and especially Michal, who's our CEO. Michal Sela, as you all know, she's on maternity leave, and she should be back in July. She had her third baby, and they're happy, they're healthy, they're wonderful. Michal does show up to work with her kids once or twice a week, but attending to three very little kids keeps her very busy. I will also say one more thing before I move on with the agenda, that to our US friends, and here I'm specifically mentioning the US team, Jeff and Sadie and Jonathan and Steve and who else is with us here? They are all working on my schedule in the US. I will be teaching at American University in Washington, D.C. for the fall semester. So I will be in the US for about 4 months, and I think I have something like 13 different trips out of Washington in these 4 months. So they're going to be keeping me busy. So I hope that the people on this call will come up with ideas and connect with our US team. And maybe we can enrich the programming in the different cities that we will be visiting. And I'm happy to also be in personal relationship and contact with each and every one of you. But we have the wonderful team in the US that are working on really how do we make the best use of that time so that we also interact with larger audiences that we will be able to meet in person. So after I finish, Barak Rubin will be speaking. He's the director of the Shared Art Center. Many of you do not know him yet. He's the curator of the Givat Haviva gallery. He replaced Anat. I think it was already a month and a half ago. and we're going to give him the floor as the first speaker, introducing himself, introducing his vision about the art center, the way he wants it to be renewed. We will also speak 20 minutes later with Ola. Ola is, you've met her. She's been with Givat Haviva as the director of the Jewish Arab Center for Peace and the Institute for Arabic Studies, which merged together over the last 12 months. She did that with beautiful work, and she's going to give us an update on what we're doing there. Each will speak for about 10, maybe 12 minutes. I encouraged each of them to to share maybe also a couple of slides, just to give you a feel of what we're doing. And last but not least, we're going to have Yuval Dvir, Dr. Yuval Dvir, because last year he got his PhD. He's the head of the United International School. He's finishing his school year in the next few days, but he's also going to be taking a very special step next year. He's going to be doing a completely new project that's associated with the United School. So it's definitely worth the wait for him to listen to what he has to say. I'll give a quick introduction, or actually, I will not give a formal introduction. You know what? Let me read it because they worked on sending it to me. So Barak is the director of the Shared Art Center and the curator of the Givat Haviva Gallery. Through his creational work, he creates dialogue between contemporary Jewish and Arab art and social realities in Israel, with a focus on identity, cultural narratives, and building bridges between communities. Before joining Givat Haviva, he was in a very close relationship with Givat Haviva, doing many other projects. So he's not new to Givat Haviva. I'm going to introduce the two other speakers after Barak finishes. So Barak, I'm giving you the floor, and I'm stopping my share so you can share your screen.
Thank
تفضل.
you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Nice meeting you. So, as Muhammad mentioned, my name is Barak, and I'm the new director of the Shared Art Center and the curator of Givat Haviva Gallery. In the past 10 years, decade, I spent my personal career fostering and curating exhibitions of contemporary Palestinian art and Israeli art in Israel and abroad. And I worked in Bezalel. I collaborated with the museums and different galleries, and I'm very happy to join the Givat Haviva team. Today, I wanted to share with you my ideas of what's going to come in the Shared Art Center. And the first slideshow, as you see, I chose an illustration from an Islamic manuscript from the 15th century from the city Herat. This is a part of Miraj Nameh. It's a manuscript about the night journey of Muhammad when he went from Mecca to the farthest mosque, which is considered to be Jerusalem. In his journey, he meets the prophets of the monotheistic religions. As you can see here by the order, it's Moses, Jesus, Abraham, and Muhammad. For me, why I chose this illustration, because it represents the potential that exists in the harmony of all religion. And in general, for me, Givat Haviva, I call it the what if place. What if really we can all live in an equal and prosperous society? So if we talked about heaven, as it described, heaven has 4 rivers. So if I'm thinking about the Shared Art Center as the mainstream, Givat Haviva has four others. So the first stream is the Artist in Residency program, which hosts Arab and Israeli artists, which sleeps in Givat Haviva and create and work here and live here together as a practical way of shared society. Following this, they're showing a group exhibition in the Givat Haviva Gallery. The other stream is the Givat Haviva Gallery, which is a full professional gallery, which hosts an annual exhibition program, hosts gallery talks, meeting with artists and content. The other stream is the Ceramic and Printmaking School. In the Art Center, we have more than 230 students that come here every day, that work and live and create. And this is like the beating heart of the place. And the fourth stream is the art education for youth. The Art Center hosts during the year different groups of youth from all over Israel, both Arabs and Jews. They come here, they study about art, they create here, and through this, they get the practical idea of a shared society. Today, I wanted to focus on the Givat Haviva Gallery, on the upcoming exhibition program for 27-28, which will host 5 annual exhibitions. The first 2 exhibitions, the duo exhibition and the group exhibition, would be of Jewish and Arab artists. I decided to dedicate those 2 exhibitions to the idea of folk tales. There is a book that was translated in 2024 from Arabic of a Lebanese writer that traveled across Lebanon and Syria and collected the oral stories. But those stories was folk stories that passed on from generation to generation. So she collected all those stories, put it in a book, and this book was translated. And for me, this is kind of a treasure of a cultural knowledge, a general knowledge of the life here. And they call it Baladi Sham, of this area. The third exhibition would be, as I mentioned before, the exhibition of the artist in residency. This year would be the 5th edition of the program. Following that, we will exhibit a solo exhibition by an Arab artist. And following that, we will show our annual ceramic and printmaking exhibition. Following that, I wanted to share with you my curatorial guideline. So first of all, I think the gallery is aligned to the big purpose of Givat Haviva, the main goal, which is shared society and democratic value. The second of all, and not less important, is about artistic excellence. I see this place as a place that's supposed to set an example, not only in the framework of Jewish and Arab, but in general. Like, I think that if we want to talk about shared society, I think it's a kind of a purpose for me to show that the gallery, the level of the art is excellent, regardless to the social background. And the third of all is the multiple narrative and cultural exchange. This is about giving voice to a different narrative, to different groups in the Israeli society, to share their ideas and thoughts. The fourth point is local context. I think that too often artistic venues, cultural venues in Israel look on New York, look on Berlin, look on the other Western centers for arts and culture. But I think this place has a lot to offer. And I think the gaze should be on here, on the Mediterranean, on what this place has to offer regarding cultural knowledge, craft, and artistic ideas. And the fifth point is public engagement and learning. I think that throughout our exhibition programs, throughout the subject that we raise, we're actually providing an educational program that the spectators, the visitors of the gallery can come and learn about society, that things that are not appears in the news, let's say, think that they are part of their daily life. And for me, the first goal as the new director of the Shared Art Center is to gain support for a solo exhibition by an Arab artist. This is something that I decided that I want to dedicate a slot every year to show a solo exhibition. This is from two main reasons. The first of all, that I think that too often the Palestinian or Arab identity in Israel is measured in relation to Israel. And I think that Arab artists and also Arab citizens deserve to have their identity formed not always in relation to Israel. I think that through this we can gain more insights about the inner world. And other than that, I think this is it's important for the ecosystem of the art field to present a solo exhibition. And this is a step, also a step to build trust and equality. So please join me. And I'm happy to know you all, and I hope we will meet also in face-to-face someday.
Wonderful, Barak. We're going to also keep all questions for later. Barak will stay with us for the next part. The next person that will be speaking now is Ola. You know Ola. She's been with Givat Haviva for, I think, already 4 years, Ola. But Ola is the director of the Jewish Arab Center for Peace and the Institute for Arabic Studies, which were merged together last year. Throughout her career, she has worked to advance shared society, intercultural dialogue, Arab leadership, and women's empowerment, including through senior roles at the Abraham Fund initiatives and Women Against Violence. She was one of the main people that worked significantly also on the issue of organized, or maybe I'm not sure how organized, but the crime rate in the Arab community, monitoring it and trying to also organize community activism to try to combat that issue. So Ola, the floor is yours. I'm going to stop my share and you will do your share.
شكرا محمد. Hi everyone. So every one of you wrote where did you join us. So I'm joining you from Nazareth, the most beautiful city in the Arab community and unsafe city. As Muhammad said about the crime and violence in the Arab community. Okay, I will share with you. Okay, so Muhammad asked me to share with you the last period that we work in the Jewish Arab Center for Peace. This period that we have a very big challenging and polarized time in the recent year, as you know.
Ola, I can't see the screen that you're sharing.
What did you see?
I just see that Ola started screen sharing, but no screen is shared.
And now? The same?
It's still, now it's good.
Okay. So as I said, the last 2 years was so challenging and polarized time. In the reality, our mission was to remain clear, to strengthen shared society and to strengthen our staff, continue building shared society and believe what we are doing in. We are talking about 22 staff in the Jewish Arab Center for Peace and the Arabic Studies Institute. And over the past month, our work has focused on three main areas, as you see, in educational and shared society leadership. We continue to developing and expand leadership program that bring together Jewish and Arab participants from different background through our different leadership initiative. The participant came from different background, as I said, and we focused on working with people who are in decision making, like the head of the educational department in the local authority and the principals of the schools, because we do believe that if we work with the decision-making sector, it will be also influence in the ground in the youth and the other audience and people in the ground. And also, we continue our meeting in between school, Jewish and Arab school. I want to mention that after the 7th of October, most of the challenges that we faced in the Jewish community to bring more Jewish to our activity. And we understand that the trauma that the Jewish community have after the 7th of October, it's not, it's a big and huge trauma. And from this side, we decide to develop more the language as a bridge between the Arab and the Jewish community, Hebrew for Arab community, and Jewish for Arab community, and Arabic for Jewish community. We saw that in the Arabic Institute, we have more Jewish people who came to learn Arabic. And in the beginning, we was happy that there is more Jewish came to the Arab Institute to learn. But after that, we understand that they are coming to learn because they are afraid from the language after the 7th of October, and they want to know and to understand what's going on in the ground. And immediately we change our focus to have the language as a bridge between the Arab and the Jewish community. We have more tour in the Arab villages and city for different Jewish group that they came for us. And the third thing that we continue and develop our work, and it's dialogue and narrative and community engagement between Jewish and Arab community in the schools, in the educational system. With the educational ministry, we have also a very big program and initiatives. It's a cooperation initiative with the Ministry of Education to bring more the opportunity for the meeting between the two sides, the two community here in Israel. I want to say that our field, it's very influenced from the sensitive and the security situation that we face. We feel that we can have 10 steps that we are doing something very good, and we have a more successful meetings. And just one thing can be here in the political side can cross broken everything that we do. This is our feeling when something happened, but when we focused and look about our partnership in the ground and how it's immediately after every broken situation take themselves and get back to the meetings, and they saw in Givat Haviva as a place that they can also came and meet and bring their identity. It's give us hope to do more and to give more for our community in Israel, Jewish and Arab community. I want to say that it's the picture is not התמונה לא ורודה. It's not
Not very rosy.
It's not very rosy. It's very challenges, but I think that this is our mission to continue make it this things more rosy and more יותר טוב ויותר חיובי.
Better and more educational. Wonderful. Thank you, Ola. I appreciate your sharing with us. We will come back to you afterwards with the questions. Now we move to our dear Yuval, who's basically we're catching him, I think, in probably in the last hours after or close to ending the school year. Yuval, as you know, is the head of the United International School at Givat Haviva. He has over a decade of experience in international education, especially the IB, International Baccalaureate, with special focus on educating students from conflict societies and advancing educational innovation for shared societies. So he's been with us for a decade, for 10 years. We're very proud for your leadership, Yuval, and the floor and chair is yours.
Thank you very much, Muhammad. Hi, everyone. This is the very last week of the school year, and this is the very last day of the school year. There were times during this year where this day seemed like impossible to get to, and I feel that it's only symbolic to say that we've finished the year in the best possible terms, way beyond our expectations. I did not have any time to prepare a presentation, and I apologize for that, but I will share a few photos just from this week to get you in the loop, and then share with you some of the things that we are planning for next year. So I hope you can see that. This is from the beginning of the week. On Sunday, we took one smaller group that just finished exams that morning on Sunday. This is the Kibbutzim, Spring Valley. They had a very nice afternoon walk and some time in nature and in water, as you can see. Had a dinner outside and came back to continue working, writing the research essays on Monday and Tuesday. This is from Monday. This is an international collaboration that started earlier this year in between different organizations, schools, with a peace summit, which turned to be online because of the war in Israel. But what you can see here are educators from Singapore, Egypt, the UK, and Ireland. And what we are doing now is to work with the experience everyone has in their own respective organizations to organize the next summit in Ireland. And Givat Haviva is going to have a big role in both organization and also in sharing of what we do here as a model for shared education in conflicted societies. This is from Tuesday, the day that the students completed their first draft of the research essays. This is the end of year picture from the end of year community assembly, and this is in the middle Misriya. I know she looks like a student, but she's a teacher, one of the best teachers we've ever had, and she led the Young Ambassadors Children's Right program in the pre-diploma program here, the grade 10 program. We got a lot of positive feedback from the Ministry of Education on the presentations of our students. This is from today, this morning. We have 3 team days to end the year with. So what you can see here is what we call the speed dating activity, where we answer or respond to different statements or questions. So that was a time for teachers to reflect on the year that has passed. And a bit later on today, what we did was to invite 2 carpenters from nearby and build some wooden tables and chairs and picnic tables for our students. So when they come back next year, they're going to see this as well. I'm going to de-share for a moment and say that this year has been extremely turbulent. in Israel and the Middle East, indeed. And at United, things are not a bubble. So everything that happens outside trickles down into the campus. But we've had the privilege of seeing how strong the ties are in between our students and the faculty. And there are many displays for that. One of these displays was very apparent when the war started. The international students actually stayed on campus. Almost all of them stayed for the entire duration of the 6 weeks war. Only 4 of them left back home on the 5th week and continued on working online. And it was their decision. And I can't say that I have a good explanation of why parents allow that, because I want to be honest, if I was a parent of an international student that was in Israel, I would have some doubts. But they stayed, and we felt that this was a sign of how much they care about the community and how much the community is important for them. And the challenges we had during this time were mostly how to explain to local students that the instruction of the Ministry of Education are that the local students should stay at home and the international students should stay on campus, and how to prevent their coming back. And we weren't very successful. So we saw a stream of students coming back all the time. We've graduated with the largest cohort we had yet, with outstanding results in many aspects. We'll see the final results at the beginning of July, but when we see the admissions results, which universities have accepted our students, we see that almost all of our students were accepted to at least one of the 3 top priorities they had at the beginning of the process, including UC Berkeley, Princeton, Georgetown, Columbia, and so many other universities. So from Ivy League and really great universities in the States to universities in Europe, UCL, King's College, and others. Which is also evidence to the kind of academic work we manage on campus, even in such a year. And I would also say that another display of the relationships built between students from the Jewish and our Palestinian society in Israel is seen also in the fact that a large group, a few dozen students from the DP1 cohort, they grade their 11th graders, are traveling tomorrow to Cyprus together, and almost equally represented between Jewish and our Palestinian students. And this is, again, evidence of something that they choose to do because they want to do it. It's not a class that they've chosen and they need to stick with for 2 years. It's not the dorm room allocation that we are mostly responsible for. It's something that they've chosen to do. They are going for 5 days. Obviously, we have our other concerns about what happens when a group of 11th graders goes abroad as educators, but we've also had this educational talk with them. And there are many other displays of how important this kind of education is. And because we feel that now, after 8 years of operations and having gone through so much during these years, really, and anything that happened was, we couldn't even expect it at the beginning. But the school built itself and the community built itself, and we flourished from year to year. We've made a very important decision together with the management of Givat Haviva, which is to take the next step in the building of this organization and open a middle school. And this middle school will be opening its gates, I hope, in a year's time, I hope, and only for local students from the Menashe Regional Council, where Givat Haviva is located, which is essentially also a shared regional council in between Jews and our Palestinians, but also from the surrounding cities and areas, the Wadi Ara and Pardes Chana Kirkuk areas, and from what we've seen so far in terms of discussions with the mayors and with parents and with educators, I see a lot of interest in that. And if we manage to do that, and I think we will, and I hope we will, this will be the first and only shared education, middle school teaching according to the international pedagogic platform that we operate, the IB platform. It's called the Middle Use Program for junior high. And that's a huge project. So I'll be taking a year sabbatical from my role as head of the high school. I'll remain the head of school with the IB and with the Ministry of Education. And during this time, I will work and build a team to open the middle school, hopefully, as I said, in a year's time. And in our vision, 5 years from now, we'll have 6 years, full 6-year process from grade 7 to grade 12 of shared education internationally. Also, probably in the middle school as time goes by. With roughly 400 students, which is a large expansion for the school, and hopefully also a new building with the land allocated for that within Givat Haviva. So there's lots to look up for and lots of work ahead, and I hope to see you with us anytime soon at Givat Haviva to discuss this further.
Great. Thank you very much, Yuval, and thank you, Barak and Ola. I'll give a couple of additional comments, and then we can start a discussion. Not only Q&A. So you're entitled to also, as part of the Givat Haviva family, to also give us either your update from your end with things that are related to friends of Givat Haviva around the world, or just share a comment about what you heard. Just a couple of very quick things. One is our international conference, our annual conference next year is going to be on April 6th. That's going to be the mega conference, which usually we invite the president to. Last two conferences, we had President Herzog attending. We haven't approached him yet, so we don't know if he's going to be, we don't know if we're going to approach him, or maybe we're going to have even a good prime minister next time. So we don't know, or which minister of education, we don't know yet. We're going to start designing the conference after the elections and not before the elections, once we know what is the ecosystem that we will be operating in. But what's also important is the following 2 days after the conference, after the annual conference, we have our international friends meeting. That will be the 7th and 8th of April. You are all encouraged to come and to bring potential supporters, donors, you name it. But we'd like to see you as existing current friends, but also people that you feel it's important to expose them to what we do and how we do it. Usually the annual conference is a mega public event. We get about 500 people on site, plus about 5,000 via Zoom link, people that watch what we do via Zoom. But the Friends Conference, usually we separate it into two segments. One segment is intimate meetings with the program leaders. So you'll be able to visit with the art center and meet with Barak and his team and see the programs and see the participants. You'll be able to go with Ola to maybe some of the schools and meet the teachers and the principals. You'll be able to meet with Yuval and see the students and talk to them as one-on-one, and maybe have lunch or dinner or just schmooze around the campus with them. So that's one thing to bring you closer to the programs. And the second is to learn about the issue, so the bigger issue. So to increase your level of expertise about why we do what we do. So we meet with some experts. We maybe meet some government people or some other professionals that can help you position the work of Givat Haviva also intellectually and not just physical interaction with the materials. So that's one thing. When you come next year, you'll see also a new building that was completed within the last 12 months on campus, rather a large building. And it's the building of the kibbutz movement that moved away from Tel Aviv and are now at Givat Haviva. which is going to make Givat Haviva, the campus, much more vibrant. So the leadership of the national kibbutz movement is going to be stationed at Givat Haviva. This will bring more traffic of, let's call it, the owners of the campus. But their level of intervention in the programmatic aspect is very minimal. It's left to the staff to do the content management. The third thing I want to update is our next meeting is going to probably be in September, adjacent to the beginning of the new school year. Michal will be back and will be leading that meeting, but it's going to be sometime in September. And I do want to encourage you to always share what is the emails, what Sadie shares with you to announce those kind of briefings. This is a way to introduce more people to what we do, although it's not physical. It's, we meet with those kind of squares, but it's better than not meeting at all. So please do invite more people to come and attend. And if you feel there are certain groups that we need to give them a special briefing, whether it is anywhere from the foreign office of your country or to the municipality or to your synagogue, church, mosque, whatever. If you have an organized group that you want us to interact with and talk to, we're happy to also organize ourselves to talk to you. So I'm going to leave the floor to you now. I think it's in order to get some order, let's do it by raising hand. And usually when you raise a hand, that also puts you in order. When you raise your hand, you need to be thinking of what you want to say briefly, so we don't get into lectures. But a brief intervention of 1 minute or 90 seconds if you want to say something, or if you want to ask a question. Please try to also ask the person that you want to ask the question to. I'm going to give you time. So meanwhile, I'm going to look at the questions that were asked already. I see that there was a question to Ola from Alain Galaski. Alain, you want to ask the question, and Ola, although you wrote it, but I think it's good to read it for everyone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mohammed. Well, the question was, what is the level of support and cooperation you're getting from the Education Ministry, knowing that the current minister is not exactly the most helpful person of the current government in general, but including the Education Minister? And I have a second question concerning what you just said, Mohammed. I heard that the laical kibbutz movement and the religious kibbutz movement have merged. And I wondered what impact that had on Givat Haviva.
We're not anticipating any impact yet, but we have withstood many changes in political reality and maintained our mind clear that we are focusing on shared society between Jews and Arabs in Israel. Maybe there's a need for shared society between Jewish and Jewish groups and Arab groups. So if they need advice on this, we can try to contribute to that discussion. But we operate as an independent entity legally. We operate under a clause called Chavat Selet. That's like the body, the entity. It's called Chavat Selet, which is a non-for-profit organization that was founded by the kibbutz movement many years back. The board members are appointed by the kibbutz movement. So unusually they're appointed for a 3-year period. So it's short term, and usually they do not have really that much impact on what we do. Mostly it's a technical board that deals with financial issues, and content is very much led by the professional staff in the organization. That board has the power also to elect the CEO of the organization. So Michal is selected by them, but she's the only staff person that is selected by the board. All the other professionals are selected by Michal or the program directors such as Ula, Yuval, and Barak. They're the ones that's the team. We have a team, I think, of 8 people, which is called the leading management, and that's the body that runs the organization, its programs, and coordinates between the different centers and approves the work plan and so on. Ula, you want to attend to the first question, please?
Yes. Aline, as you mentioned, it's a difficult period to work with the different ministry in Israel, not just the educational ministry, but we succeed, although the situation was very hard to keep the shared initiative with the Ministry of Educational, with the professional sector in the ministry. And we have 76 teachers who teach Hebrew language in the Arab school, which is the Ministry of Education, they employ them. We are talking about 700 hours. That's mean 800,000 shekel.
It's about
Muhammad.
$300,000.
So although the situation are so difficult, but we succeed to keep this initiative. We are all the time, and I wrote, we are all the time in the على كاف بنمشي إيتانو
On the
لو
line, on the
Eh,
scene.
on the line, but I think that the professional sector in the different ministry, and especially in the educational ministry, understand that the partnership with the non-profit organization and with Givat Haviva, it's one of the main road for them to bring the Hebrew language for the Arab community. And we start also building with them the Arabic language for the Jewish the Jewish community on the curriculum of the Hebrew school. And I hope that on October we will change this government and have more and more partnership with the different ministry, because in the end, we also organization who work in the ground, but also we are a organization who change policy in this, and we do believe that everything that we are doing, it's to building the تشتيت, the base for the ministry and the different policy to have this in their agenda.
Great, thank you. Speaking about the elections, Givat Haviva definitely is hoping for a much more friendly government. This government has not been very friendly, but there are at least some of the professionals are still professionals, and with them we find a common professional language. As an organization, let me say, we do not engage directly in political campaigning or the elections, but believe me, all of the staff do it and are involved personally in the change that needs to be done in Israel. And if there are efforts that we can get involved in that can be made and done legally without exposing Givat Haviva, then we do that, especially in encouraging people to exercise their right to go to vote. And our ecosystem, going back to the slide that was presented or shared by Barak, democracy and shared society. So we encourage people to bring in about political change that encourages more democracy and shared society. So we want a better ecosystem, and that's why we encourage those type of people to go vote from the Jewish and from the Arab side, but we do not encourage them to vote for any specific political party. That we refrain from, because that will not be within our legal parameters as an organization. I see that Richard Wall shared the question with us. Richard, do you want to read it to us?
Sure. Thank you, Mohammed. I just was saying how exciting the new middle school initiative sounded, and I was just wondering, it sounds like it's quite an endeavor. So, where's the money coming from? I'm just curious, and is Givat Haviva contributing? And for those of us who are interested, is there going to be any fundraising effort to help support that initiative?
Yuval?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So I'll answer from the ministry's side. And when we approach the project, when we've approached the project for the first time, we've done it together with the regional council and the Ministry of Education. One of our aims is to make our type of education as public as possible. Or sometimes you can do it and create a totally public system, and sometimes you need private ownership. The high school is an example for private ownership. The middle school will be public, so it will be fully funded by the government, which means that in terms of operations, the government will take responsibility. We will operate the school. Givat Haviva sees this as a project, so obviously the Givat Haviva management is fully in this and is working collaboratively with us to proceed.
Let me add one more thing, Richard. This is an invitation for early partners and investors. The first, technically, we will need additional buildings, additional classrooms to be able to house more kids into the program and to house the teachers and staff, activities rooms. Which also gives us a naming opportunity. So we can call buildings in the name of XYZ. You being our partners, you can try to maybe create those opportunities. Name a classroom after someone, or name a library after someone, or a lab, or a lounge for the students. That at this stage, that's where we are. We need to create the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure. And then for the operational side, for the operational aspect, and I would say we're a bit less concerned. We have the belief also that the parents will be able to contribute. We do not just give free education. Parents that can pay, we ask them to pay. We know how to put the ministry and the different government departments on the line and have them pay their dues also to us. But we know that about a third of the operating budget of the school has to come from donations. That's operating budget. The infrastructure is 100% donations, and that's where we are going to be working very hard to raise that money. But the operational budget, about 2/3 comes as automatic from government and families, and 1/3 we need to raise. We feel that we will have the capacity to increase. I know that Jeff and Yvette and Ruth and Mark and Jonathan are working very hard to help us in fundraising at the different countries that we have friends of Givat Haviva. But extra efforts are definitely welcomed as well. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you, Mohammed. And welcome, Barak. It's so nice to see you on board. We're very excited to see your inspiration and creativity brought to the Shared Art Center. And it sounds like you've got a fantastic sort of set of principles. Your curatorial guidelines were inspirational to listen to. And we're just really excited to have you on board. So thank you for joining up, and I look forward to meeting you. And Yuval, obviously, it's incredible that you were able to keep things as together as you did, as well, Ola, as what you did over the course of this very challenging year. So we are inspired by your resilience and your passion, both Ola and Yuval, for the work that you've put in over the course of the year. Yuval, obviously this is an ambitious project, the middle school. Are you thinking that you would open up, so you say it's like 1 year, that's your goal. Would you open up all 3 grades, seventh, eighth, and ninth, all at the same time? Or are you thinking you might stagger them as you sort of build this out?
So thanks for the question and thanks for your words. We see this as a gradual process. We'll open with the 7th grades, and then throughout the next 3 or 4 years, like a year for opening and then 3 years to reach the full size of the school, which will help us in focusing on the first 2 to 3 years with a limited number of students, making sure that the level of education and the level of academics is where it should be. We've gained a lot of experience so far in opening United, and we feel that doing it gradually will be the right thing to do.
Great, great. I expected that to be the case, so thank you for sharing. I just did want to mention briefly, Mohammed, you had spoken about the tour that you're going to have in the US. I just wanted to take a second and just fill that out a little bit. We've got, I think, a total of 13 cities planned over the course of the fall, starting with DC, Cleveland, Boston, New York, San Francisco, Houston, Atlanta. I know I'm leaving some out, but we've got Mohammed very busy while he's here in the US traveling around, both for opportunities to amplify the message as well as for fundraising opportunities. If somebody on this call is in one of those cities and wants to help, please let Sadie know, and Sadie will let everybody else know. If you're in a different city that I didn't mention and you think that there might be an opportunity for something in your community, also please let Sadie know and we'll try to fit it in. We do have, it's a busy schedule, but we do have some slots available. So if there are opportunities that you think you could have in your local community, we will do our best to fit it in.
Ruth, Yvette, Mark, Elaine, you have any comments that you want to share with us?
I can start if you like.
Go ahead, please.
I'm very happy to hear about this middle school because I'm a teacher and I know it's better to know how to continue in working with younger children, with younger students, to continue to the last 3 years, the last 2 years you have. And therefore, I wish you good luck. We are preparing a new exhibition in Germany, and I also want to contact Mr. Steffen Seibert, because I hope very much that we can bring him together with other people. I don't know how much money we can bring for this new school and for the other projects, because I remember very well when Janif came with his idea that a lot of people are very skeptic and feared that other projects will be not so happy about, because they fear not to have enough money to continue their work. But you get it once, and I'm sure you will get it twice. So I wish you luck, but I wish you also a lot of people giving their money for the project. And I'm very impressed also about the other persons who gave us some ideas of her work. And I think the election should show, and I hope very much for Israel, but also first of all for Givat Haviva, that this year will end in a very good perspective for your work and for the future.
Thank you, Ruth. Yvette, I saw you unmuted.
Yes. Well, I'm also surprised about the in middle school. It sounds really nice. I'm a big fan of United, and so it's nice that it will get larger. And well, I'm just very curious to follow up what's happening. And Ruth, maybe you can let me know about this new exhibition you are preparing. Yeah, and thank you all very much for everything.
Let me just answer, Michael, I just saw your hand, but I'll say one more thing. We have a tour of two of the program participants from Through Others' Eyes project. That's a photography course that are coming to the United States, I think 25th of August, no, 25th of July until the 10th of August. They'll be visiting 4 Jewish summer camps doing programming. They will be accompanied by an American intern that has been doing an internship with Givat Haviva for the last year, Sami Ginich. So he will be accompanying them on this tour to the 4 different camps. This is being coordinated and funded by the Foundation for Jewish Camps in the United States. That we're doing this with them as a pilot project. And we're already beginning to talk to them that potentially next year we might be visiting probably 20 camps or so. So this is part of our outreach educational programs to audiences that have a relationship with Israel. So we're not just giving general education, but to audiences that have a direct relationship to Israel. Michael Blackman, please go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to say that it's going to be a pleasure to greet you, Mohammed, to the New York area once again.
I look forward for that.
And we have on this call, not as a participant because he didn't register, but we passed the link on to my grandson, Jake Blackman, who has just graduated from Emory University.
Ooh, wonderful.
He's very active in the Jewish community there as the president of AEPI, one of the Jewish fraternities. And I hope that he will be helpful in terms of spreading the word and the contacts with the young community in Atlanta. Anyway, it's going to be great to see you, Mohammed.
Well, I will be in Atlanta also, so I would definitely look forward to seeing him in person also when I'm there. Is he still on the call?
Pardon?
Is he still on the call with us?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Is he still with us?
I think I can't tell because he didn't register. He just
I did see Blackman at some point, but I can't see him right now.
Yeah, the only paper you got is the one up here, which is me and Elaine. But
I see.
David is listening. He's joined the link, but he didn't register.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, I see Larry Garber from Washington, D.C. You're going to be my neighbor soon.
Looking forward to it. We have plenty of room if you ever need a place to stay, and I look forward to be able to host you. I guess going back, I mean, obviously the elections are a big issue on the table. I know Givat Haviva is a nonpartisan group. So 2 questions. One is, does Givat Haviva play any role in terms of the get out the vote, particularly in the Arab community? I mean, more than just, you're saying so, but is there an active program to encourage people in the Arab community to participate? And then putting on your political analyst hat, if you can just comment a little bit on the implications of the new effort by the folks from Omdim B'Yachad to set up a new party to compete in the elections, and how you think they'll do. Do you think they'll bring out, as they said, new voters, or will they simply take from the other parties that are already in the field?
Thank you, Larry. Well, what we have as an asset at Givat Haviva is contacts with people on leadership level in the Arab community. and quick maneuvering ability. So last time when we were able to get some funding to help get out the vote, what we did was activating our municipal contacts. We had 230 out of the 750 Arab council members in the different Arab municipalities. In total, there is 750 Arab council members. We had 230 of them that we motivated them and actually technically supported them in videotaping messages to their voters to go to vote, to their voters in the municipal elections, asking them to vote in the national elections. Because these people know exactly who voted for them on the local municipal level. Usually it's about a group of 1,000 or 1,500 people that vote for a certain council member. So this is not a far-fetched program that we will shy away from if we get the financial capacity to operate it. We do not use money that was raised for educational programs for this kind of activity. It has to be extra funding that is earmarked specifically for these kind of activities, and we do not do it, on all those videos, 230 videos, Givat Haviva's name was not mentioned. It's those people talking to their audience, talking to their voters. So Givat Haviva was just a technical facilitator for the program, and not our name was not on any call for voting or things like that. Just people that, as I said, that come to our conferences, that help us in our programming. We encourage them to get out the vote through the people that they know. So it's a very tight ship. We will not engage in campaigning with Givat Haviva's name. So that's one. The political analyst hat. I don't know how much everyone is accompanying, but I would declare that the negotiations for forming a joint list for the 4 Arab political parties are not going to bear any fruit. Best case scenario would be if we have 2 political parties that end up running with potentially agreeing on sharing the surplus vote. So this is still developing, but I'm in touch with pretty much all of the leaders of the 4 Arab political parties. I gave up trying to encourage them to even be in one list because this is a wasted energy. And I don't think that the leadership level in the Arab community is really up for the task. Yesterday, a new political party or group announced that it's going to run. It's Standing Together. You probably know them as very important activists in the field for the last few years, in the field of peace, Jewish-Arab coexistence, all kinds of human rights, democracy programs, very much connected to our agendas, very, very, very close to the agendas that we stand for. And they announced they're going to run as a joint Jewish-Arab political party. Not a single poll has indicated that they have any potential yet, but they just did it yesterday. So we'll wait for, actually today's Thursday, so probably by tomorrow, we'll see first indications if they have a potential. They're well organized with a lot of volunteers, but I would say zero expertise in election campaign management. I don't know about their funding capacity to actually run, as someone that did it once, actually more than once, running political campaigns in the Arab community. I can tell you probably need somewhere around $5 million to make it. If you have less than that, technically you cannot run a proper campaign or organize the field activities that need to be organized, or have your people at the different polling stations to monitor what's happening and to count your votes. Because if you're not there, your votes will not be counted. Someone else will pick them up for you. Someone else will count them or split them between the parties that are present in the polling station. So I don't know the level of organization and how it's going to happen, but I hear over the last 24 hours that their move was to try to force themselves as negotiating partners potentially with the United Arab List with Mansour Abbas. So potentially they might be joining him. And also the Democrats, the Israeli Jewish political party, that also are on the target list of standing together as potential party that they can join forces, even if it's technical joining of forces towards the elections. It's still a bit too early, but I think they bring fresh faces that is very much needed in the Arab community. But the threshold is very high. You need about 2.2 and a quarter of the votes to get into the as a threshold to enter the Knesset. I assume in the Arab community they can probably get 1 to 1.5 seats easily because there's a vacuum in the Arab community. I don't see the vacuum in the Jewish community. The very far left in the Jewish community is in Hadash and in Balad. A bit to the right of that, they are in the Democrats. So I don't see the left of Israeli Jewish community running there, and they do not have any big stars, any big names that can attract voters. So they don't have the name recognition. So they're joining the race, I would say, very late, unless they were preparing for that in advance. Yes, you're right, Alain. It's 3.25. It's a lot. When I ran a political party 5 years ago, I got 2.5%, and that was not enough. And that's why I folded everything, and because I didn't want to burn 130,000 votes, as Balad did and as Meretz did. I didn't want anyone to blame me for that, so I just wrapped up my political party 10 days before the elections. All right, we have 7 more minutes. Michael, Peg, and Daniel. Daniel, I assume you're Sammy's father?
Hi, Mohammed. Yes, exactly. I am
Wonderful.
Sammy's father, so I just wanted to say hello. It's a pleasure to be in this call. Everything is super interesting. We're looking forward to having you in Washington. I understand you will be here not
Yes,
just for a visit, but for a few months.
yes.
So that is very exciting. And
I heard your wife is a very good cook, so I'm counting on a good meal.
absolutely, you got that. And we're going to be visiting Israel next week, and we'll be with Sammy, so he's going to give us a tour of the school and all of that, and we're very excited.
So we'll have coffee together, and I would love that very much.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, Michael, sorry, I interrupted Michael Morrison.
Pleasure to see you, Mohammed. We spoke on the phone about 1 year ago, I think, when I was here in Israel. So just briefly, I know it's brief. I would read a few things because I think we come from the people I'm working with come from kind of an unusual perspective. It's called the Artists and Humans Projects. And you can see right away there's a sense of blending and not just taking it from one place, but it really expands beyond that to include indigenous peoples, environmental organizations, many under the radar, not some of the higher order, very publicly present, but many under the radar. So I think we gathered people. We did this in 2009, 2012. Givat Haviva was one of our cultural achievement awards, actually named an iconic institution for recognition of their history and the role in the entire region and the entire, collectivity, along with Greenpeace Canada, which is the initial Greenpeace was in Canada. And then the third was Cirque du Soleil in Canada, which has another organization called Cirque du Soleil Global Citizen, a very extraordinary add-on to the circus, which is Cirque du Soleil. But so our group in 2009, 2012, which we're trying to resurrect, in the present with a different face. We're going to go further. Before it was kind of like a museum almost online, look at what these people do. Now we're trying to also introduce, the possibility of collaboration and connection. Since in our times, we think the destruction of connection is a major issue.
So, Michael, since
Yeah,
you
so
and
I
Mark
will.
are on the call, I would encourage both of you to exchange phone calls. And since you're here, I would also encourage that you try to meet while you're in Israel right now. I don't know where
I'd
you
love
are.
to meet with you if you're open.
I'm a bit and I'm in sick
Okay.
leave. I broke my wrist, so I'm not
Oh, I'm
supposed to be
sorry.
driving. So I'm doing most of my work from home, and I go to the
So
office.
I'm in contact with Sadie.
So Sadie, do the connection with Barak, and because I think Barak would be the best address for you at Givat
Okay,
Haviva. I think that it will be wonderful
perfect. Thank you.
relationship.
I'll work on that.
Great. The last 3 minutes, I give it to Peg Blackman.
Hello from Washington, D.C. My husband and I are members of Temple Micah, and we met you when we came on a Temple Micah Israel trip. My question is, what is the status of reaching out to alumni,
Yes.
alumna of Givat Haviva? How is that going, and what are plans for that?
Wonderful. That's a great question. I would have enlisted it as as a fourth program to present to you, but the director of the program just got married Friday 2 weeks ago. So Eden she was back to work on Sunday, but I wanted to reduce the level of pressure on her. So she will be with us on the next briefing in September. But the program is actually going very well. We're getting two things. One, we're accumulating more numbers, people that are joining us, and I would say every day we get few more people, surprising people that join us. I'll tell you an interesting thing that happened to me last week. And they're beginning to ask for programming. So we already did 3 different events of programming for alumni because they want to use the network to increase their level of knowledge about the issues. And the following year, we're going to ask them to become activists. We're not just there to organize them and feed them with know-how. We want them to use that knowledge to do something in society that promotes democracy and shared society, which are the values that we want to operate under as the ecosystem in Israel. So it's running very well. The thing I wanted to share with you, last week I was a character witness in court, and someone that is dear to me, they asked me to before he was supposed to be judged here. They asked me to come and speak about their character. And so I stand in front of the court, and there are 3 judges, and they asked me to introduce myself. So I introduced myself, and I said, Givat Haviva. And one of the judges jumped, said, Givat Haviva. I was there when I was 16. So the other judge, who has never heard about Givat Haviva, said, what is that? And she started telling her, actually being a wonderful spokesperson for us. So I asked her to join the alumni. Clearly, she said no because she's a judge and she cannot formally join any officially organized program. But I told her that we'd love for her to come and maybe visit, to talk to our staff, and maybe talk to our students. Which means, we need to do more noise to attract more alumni. But we know how to do the organization. We know how to now offer the content for the alumni. And as I said, we will do this all of 2026, but 27 will be asking them to take action and not just to be passive recipients. All right, we're exactly at 90 minutes on the hour, so I usually ask Jonathan Lack to say goodbye for everyone. Is Jonathan still here? If not, then Jeff, the word is for you.
I saw Jonathan a few minutes ago. Are you still on, Jonathan? If not, then I will just say goodbye. Thank you all for joining in. This is just fantastic. The momentum is amazing. Through a very difficult chapter, you guys have thrived, and we're all here in awe of your work and supportive. So thank you very much for organizing this, and we look forward to many more engaging conversations.
Thank you all.
Thank you all
Bye-bye.
for
Very
your time.
much.
Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.